Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Straight up to the point. Now, white women are actually showing their solidarity to black men. The conservative ones that have said that they are not voting for Kamala Harris, white women are absolutely supporting you so well. Why? Because you all are also on the same level. And they are also showing their massive support to Palestinians and the Arab community. Why? Because they have a mission. Now, hear me out. If you all know what is going on, this particular video, this woman that is talking, watch majority of the women or white women talking about black women supporting black men and Palestinians. They are absolutely voting for Trump. Now, if you all notice or if you all know, Donald Trump is actually anti-immigration, right? And also Islamophobia. And real soon, majority of these people will absolutely find out. By the time they will find out, it will absolutely be very late. And the deed has already been done, right? Real soon, all of them will be going back to their home countries to continue their activism in front of the whatever that is going on in their countries, because some of them have refused to understand or know where black women are coming from. But I cannot borrow you my brain because you all refuse to hear and understand. Let's get into this video.
I know you guys have probably seen this clip already because I've seen it all over the internet, all over my FYP for the last couple days. Yeah, we got to talk about this. And not just this, while we're here, we also have to talk about the insanely embarrassing interview Nancy Pelosi did with Christiane Amanpour. And for context, she's in Michigan right now, which is a critical swing state in this election with a very large Muslim American, Arab American, and Palestinian American population.
Risky is it that you could lose the election? Well, it is undeniable that it is something that everyone is aware of what is happening there. I speak publicly all the time about the fact that there are so many tragic stories coming from Gaza. And of course, the first in this phase of everything that has happened, the first and most tragic story is October 7th. And what happened that day, and then what has happened since. And I think what's critically important as we look at this moment is, one, acknowledging the tragedy of what has happened in Gaza in terms of the extraordinary number of innocent Palestinians who have been killed, and taking that seriously and speaking truth about that. In addition, of course, to what I said about what happened on October 7th in terms of 1,200 innocent Israelis being slaughtered, women being horribly raped.
I feel like when she gets to the SA hoax, it's a good time to stop. Because whenever they start to get to the SA hoax, it means that they don't know what else to say, and so they're trying to appeal to emotion by repeating that lie. I have not seen a single interview that Kamala Harris has done talking about October 7th where she does not repeat that hoax. And it's particularly disgusting and egregious because as a woman, she understands what she's doing. The constant repetition of the mass SA hoax that she does is on purpose. And the point is to elicit disgust and horror at those savages. They want to perpetuate the idea that Arab men, Palestinian men, are brutal savages. So anytime you hear that hoax repeated, understand that's what they're doing. It's not an accident. Anyway, I got distracted with that side note because it's just so enraging. And it's so enraging that she can't talk about October 7th without doing that. But let's get back to the original question. She was asked in the important key swing state of Michigan, do you realize that you could lose this election? And the reason why the reporter's asking her that is because a lot of Palestinian Americans, Arab Americans, Muslim Americans do not want to vote for her because of the genocide, obviously. And instead of actually addressing their concerns directly, she goes straight into the false equivalencies. Right into the false equivalencies and the disgusting dehumanization that we see over and over and over again of the Palestinians. Oh, I know. It's a real tragedy what's happening to the Palestinians because of that earthquake. They always talk about it like it's a natural disaster that nobody had any control over. Which is another reason why I can't deal with their BS about we're working tirelessly on a ceasefire. We're working to end the genocide. We're in community. No, stop. You're not. You're literally not. You're actually helping them escalate it. You're not just not doing anything to stop it. You're actively giving them the weapons and the cover to help them escalate it to Lebanon and Iran. It's actually insane mass gaslighting, because while you are using one hand to give the Palestinians aid in Gaza, you are using the other hand to give the Israeli regime the bombs that are killing them. You cannot look at what is happening in Gaza a year into this genocide and just simply say the U.S. is being complicit. No. We're not just being complicit. We are an active participant in the genocide. We are actively funding them and giving them weapons. We just gave them a new defense system, THAAD. We're actively sending troops over to the Middle East now to help them. We are actively giving them cover and money to escalate into Lebanon and Iran. So this isn't just being complicit. This is actively participating. But also, as a side note, that doesn't take away from the fact that the Israeli regime are the ones actually committing this genocide. Because I have heard some people be like, no, this isn't even Israel at this point. This is just the U.S. This is the U.S.'s genocide. No. Yes, we deserve a lot of responsibility. As I just explained, we are full partners in this. But don't try to let the Israelis off the hook, okay? Do not allow the Israeli regime and Netanyahu to totally get off the hook. Oh, this is just the U.S. This is just the U.S.'s proxy state and proxy war. No. Again, not disagreeing with our role in this, but stop trying to let the Israeli regime off the hook, okay? She needs to stop gaslighting everybody and being like, we're doing everything we can. We're really working hard to try to bring peace to the Middle East. You're not trying to bring peace. You're not trying to do a ceasefire. You are not trying to do an end to this genocide when you are actively giving them everything they need, money, weapons, cover, troops, in order for them to continue to do it. And the last part, the all lives mattering of the Palestinians. It is so fucking cringe and embarrassing that every single time the slaughter of the Palestinians is brought up, she has to be like, okay, so I know that this has nothing to do with what you asked me, and you asked me about Arab American voters, and you asked me about the genocide in Gaza, but let's talk about October 7th. The most tragic. Yeah, did you catch that? So Palestinians being incinerated, caught on fire, burning alive, having their intestines blown up and sitting on the outside of them like I just saw a little kid yesterday. That's tragic. But it's not the most as tragic. The most as tragic is October 7th. You know, where it all started. Endlessly fucking embarrassing. There are so many things wrong with this interview, and it is not even a long interview. The more I see the Kamala Harris campaign double and triple and quadruple down on the genocide and defending every single thing the Israeli regime does and quadrupling down on the Biden administration's policy, the more that I think that they're trying to lose. Not to mention, the more that they keep quadrupling down on conservative policy and trying to appeal to Republicans, the more I think they're trying to lose. Like, are you trying to lose? And if they do lose, they will blame everybody and their mother and their pet bird except for themselves. They will not take any accountability for it. We're going to hear about, non-college educated white women. We're going to hear about fucking Arabs this and Arabs that. It's going to be a lot of fucking hate on Arabs. So we need to be ready to have their backs, you guys, if that happens. And of course, black men. Because even though black men vote overwhelmingly for Democrats in every election, but they always want to blame black men. Okay, so speaking of, are you trying to lose? Let's move on now to the Nancy Pelosi clip. So she was being interviewed by Christiane Amanpour, and this is what happened.
Given that there's an election, are you concerned by the very, very difficult polling for Kamala Harris, particularly regarding Arab Americans, particularly in the swing state of Michigan?
Yeah, well, it is something to be considered. When we talk about this subject, people forget. They forget a Muslim ban instituted by this president. One of the first things he did...
By President Donald Trump.
By Donald Trump, one of the first things he did...
That's what you have to say? That's what she has to say. Are you concerned that you may lose? And her answer is, wow, people forget that he put a Muslim ban in place. In other words, why are you Muslims so ungrateful? There's nothing affirmative. There's nothing, this is what I will do for you. These are my commitments or campaign promises. No, nothing. It's all shut up, Muslims, and vote for us or else Trump will kill your family harder. Could they be more condescending? Do you think a single Muslim American voter in this country is unaware of Trump's Muslim ban? You think they're unaware of it? You think they're unaware of what he could do in his second term? That they haven't considered that. And that's what you have to offer? That's what you have to offer. Muslim and Arab Americans might not want to vote for you because of the genocide. And your answer is, yeah, I know, but did they ever think about the Muslim ban? Those liberals, please. Come get your grandma. This is embarrassing. Amazing the white supremacist paternalistic language she uses. Oh, when he put the Muslim ban in, Democrats flocked to the Muslims' protection. Cringe. But to actually go out there with a fucking straight face and say, no, Joe Biden has been a friend of the Palestinians. Do you have any idea how embarrassing and fucking out of touch you sound? Just stop. And then she goes on to repeat the conspiracy theories that Russia is actually the one behind the pro-Palestinian protests. Like, actual melted brain. Friends, I just want you to remember all of these interviews. All of the interviews, the ones that we've talked about, the videos that I posted, the viral videos of things that they've said. I want all of us to remember them. Because if Kamala Harris loses, if Democrats lose, they are going to do a full rewrite of history. They're going to blame everybody else. They're going to blame the left. They're going to blame black men. They're going to blame Arabs. They're going to blame Muslims. They're going to blame Russia. They're going to blame China, Iran, TikTok, anything that they can do to not have to self-reflect. That's why it always makes me laugh when I see people on the left or progressive people being like, well, you know, if Democrats lose, they'll really have to reevaluate. LOL. They're not going to evaluate shit. They're going to do what they always do, which is move right. There will be no self-reflection of the fact that they are running a very right-wing campaign. And if we really wanted to have that conversation, even right now, before the election even happens, we could look at exactly the time frame that Kamala Harris decided to pivot her campaign away from a winning message to a Republican-centered loser message. And something that blue MAGA and Democrats, libs love to say is, oh, but don't you realize the consequences of what would happen if Trump won? Do they? Does the campaign? Because they have the polling. They're seeing these interviews. Why aren't they worried? I want to know what is so worth it to them about this genocide to lose the election.
If you are in the BIPOC community and you are okay with only focusing on some genocides, or you're okay with people only paying attention to certain forms of genocide while ignoring the others for whatever reason, that is your business. That is your right. But please do not come to my page trying to police what I do or what I'm talking about. Because before it was that it's okay for these people to have genocide as their hard line. Now that I've pointed out that genocide is not their hard line, but it is the method in which genocide is being committed, now it's, oh, let everybody have their line. Now it's a mysterious line. If that is something that you support and that is something that you are okay with, that is fine. But I will say that my hard line is genocide of all BIPOC people. Actually, genocide, period. If that bothers you, I don't really know what to say. Maybe it's best to just unfollow or block me. I'm personally choosing not to go into BIPOC people's comment sections and argue them down. I just want you to do the same for me. I am not deeply concerned with how Black and brown people vote because we make up such a small percentage of the voting bloc. My message really isn't even geared towards our group of people, but if you could just refrain, that would be greatly appreciated.
At this point, everybody's decision about what they are going to do in 2 weeks has already been made. I'm just here to tell y'all, please know that not a single conversation that we've been having over the last year is new. The role of white people, of whiteness in freedom struggles has always been debated for decades, maybe even centuries. Theories of change, like how do we get from one place to another? What is the best method, the most effective method, the most efficient method to get there, has always been debated. Is it incremental change? Chipping away at a system until it is inevitably useless or falls apart entirely. Large, dramatic pushes for accelerated change. Immediate abolition of slavery, immediate abolition of prisons, immediate abolition and defunding of the police, and whatever happens, happens. Violent acceleration and uprising. Heavily debated topics forever. People also have always had different lenses through which they see the exact same situation. This same situation looks a little bit different with a wide angle lens, doesn't it? This same situation looks different with a fisheye lens, don't it? If you followed me for any length of time, or even if you're just passing through, it should not surprise you to hear that I'm going to look at almost every situation through the lens of something called critical race theory. Real one, not the fake one conservatives saying is indoctrinating your kids in the 3rd grade. I don't think this is the best lens. I think it's mine. That's okay, because you have to recognize that a lens also gives you a bias. In the wide angle and the fisheye lens, you could see my air purifier. In this one, you can't. They might also lead you to conclusions that are in conflict with other lenses sometimes. Anybody who wears glasses will tell you that putting on your glasses on top of your contacts and having those two lenses together will give you a headache. Most of our faves, and that includes some of mine, usually going to be on these apps seeing situations through the lens of anti-capitalism and anti-imperialism. And none of those lenses are perfect. They all have nuances. They all have holes in them that you could drive a truck through. They are all much more complex in real life when they're all operating at the same time. Trying to justify those contradictions or make them go away, if you make a left right there, that's where you have it fucked up. Because then all this history and theory that is supposed to help us move forward is only really being used to blame someone for where we are now. You flipping through pages of books and Googling different historical figures. Well, Ruby Bridges, her behavior exactly matches mine, so I'm good. Malcolm X and the Black Panther Party's behaviors exactly matches mine, so I'm good. That is the surest way to lose your mind and lose very critical ground. So what's your lens and what can you learn from somebody else's? I'll go first. I told y'all that my lens is critical race theory. People whose thing is anti-imperialism and people whose thing is environmental justice, those two lenses have probably taught me the most in the last 5 years. It's gonna be all right.
So this is all I got from this video. And before we start analyzing some certain things, I want you all to know this. You see this woman, this young lady that is out here blabbing or trying to act like she is being nice to Palestinians and the Arab community. I want you to know that this lady is absolutely going to vote for Trump, right? And you all know what Trump also will stand for. Trump will not do anything different when it comes to what is going on in Gaza, right? But then there is something I always stand for. That is the truth, right? I am going to condemn what is going on in Gaza, what the people, in Palestine are going through. And at the same time, I am also going to tell you all that some people think what is going on is happening only in Gaza or in Palestine, right? See, my own people, it is also happening in Congo. You all are really so good at selecting the people that you are going to help. I rarely hear them talk about Congo. I rarely hear them talk about Sudan. I rarely hear them talk about Haiti. Those people are going through it and they also need our help, right? I am not saying, okay, now I am not going to say what I want to say now. See, there is no genocide that is more important than any other genocide. And also, before we move further, I also want to remind you people and refresh all your memories that Black people are still going through the same thing until this very moment, so that it doesn't sound like, everything that is going on the other side, that it is not something they have not experienced. They are experiencing all this day in, day out. But you all wake up every day and all you all want to say is that you all are oppressors when Black people are being oppressed. It is amazing how people are fighting on how to get themselves out of fire, and you all are looking for a way to push them more inside the fire, telling them that you are supposed to support me first before you support yourself. That is how awesome majority of you are. Now let's get back to the main talk, what she talked about on this. Yeah, I understand that Palestinians or Arabs have every right to be angry at whoever. And now the truth is that this anger is going, I don't know if I should say that this anger is going or directed towards Kamala Harris so badly that these people absolutely forgot that they have president, that their president has always been the one in charge of everything going on. Since Kamala Harris surfaced when it comes to being the presidential candidate, all of them forgot that they have president, that is Joe Biden. That is something I really do not understand. Let's continue. Some people forget that talking about politics is way different from being, move emotions aside, move sentiment aside, there is a limit to what Kamala Harris will do. I remember sometime month ago, or so early this year, where she talked about how hard they are working towards making things happen. The truth is that they also did not make a lot happen because there are still other people hostage wherever they are. And at the same time, my own people are still in hostage. Right? Because each time they look for a way to gaslight people, there is no way they will not look for a way to bring Black people into it, right? Because they always want us to feel bad that we are the cause of so many things happening to them, forgetting that Black people already stood out during the march and everything from beginning to the end of, like from the beginning till this very moment. I still see a lot of Black content creators doing all they can to make sure that they spread the word. I say kudos to them. I absolutely stopped posting that because you cannot call people that look like me bad people and still want their help. You have to choose one. And at the same time, you do not bite the finger that fed you. That is something that I know and I work with that. And moreover, my own people are still going through genocide, Congo, Sudan, Haiti, and all that. So there is no better one. I see a lot of Black people. I mean, when I say Black people out there, I rarely hear them talk. See, I am not saying Black people have not been at the forefront because you already made me know about what was going on in Congo, Sudan, and other places. I am not removing or taking away credit from you people, but hear me out first. I see a lot of them. They do not talk about Congo. They do not talk about Haiti. They do not talk about Sudan, right? Every day is Gaza, 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 Palestine. And I am not going to tell somebody what to talk about, especially when it comes to his or her platform, right? But then that also shows how you feel about your own people. Because how I treat you, people there, shows how I feel about you. I don't know if that makes sense. And I am a Black person before any other thing. Why? I put you first before any other person. Like I said, I am not telling them what to put on their channel because it is their platform. If I tell them what to do, I am being stupid. But at the same time, first of all, you have to be good at home before you are good outside. Charity begins at home. All right. Now, this young lady is out there trying to tell us that everything. See, did you see how she dragged Black men into it at the same time? They said Black men this, Black men are not voting for that. See, these people really know what they are doing. They read mind and they know the weak ones. They know the strong ones. They know they cannot tamper, they cannot go where Black women are because Black women are like rock. You cannot come and say bullshit close to them. They kick you out and they mean it. They're allowed when it comes to telling you that this is my stand. I love it about you people. Right? So now she dragged Black men into this now. Right? Because if you all go around what is going on, you know how majority, I'm not saying all Black men, please do not quote me wrong. Majority of Black men, some of them stood still. That how can a woman be our president? So for that reason, they have their own different view when it comes to politics, which I also do not. I am not coming for you, but I want you to know that we know. I know. That's why she said what she said. That Black men are always being dragged. She dragged people into that because they know the people they can get and the people they cannot get. Now, as it stands, these people are actually thinking Palestinians, as it stands, and most Arabs, they are thinking that they have friend, right, in white women. But can I burst your bubble real soon? The truth is that majority of them are voting Trump. And paraventure, see, like I said, I am a neutral person when it comes to politics. Paraventure, right? Trump wins this election. You see Palestinians and Arabs. There is what they say, like if you see a Nigerian and tell the person or African, they will hear, that means they will see the other side. They will know the difference between capital B and cow leg, cow foot. You know, cow foot looks like B. When you look at it, check it. They all look similar, but they are not the same. The same way salt and sugar, right, look alike. So now I love this politics that is playing out. I love it how some people have refused to use their brain, but I cannot borrow my brain to use. If white women succeed in this that they are into right now, Palestinians and Arabs will really save it because they are going home. And when they go home, they will not go home and face that thing that is happening in their different places. You know, they all run away. They all run away, and most of them are schooling and using your tax money. It is also your tax money that is funding them. That they are going to school, right? They will all go back home because they are also Muslims. They will take them back to where they are coming from. So they will start that activism, right, from their own home country, and that will absolutely look amazing. Don't you think so? You got what I'm saying? See you all in my next video. Bye for now.